We're going to be taking a look at volume of revolution. So I sent you a GeoGebra app, which you'll be using. And you can see that I used it here. So I started off with the triangle, and I revolved the triangle around the longer leg. And you can see that when you revolve a right triangle around one of the two legs, you're going to get a cone. Now, the cone that I got is going to have a radius of 1.6, and it's going to have a height of 2.6. Had I chosen to revolve it around the 1.6 as my height and my radius as 2.6, then I would have ended up with a cone with a height of 1.6 and a radius of 2.6. So you have to visualize these things. Okay, so I'm going to get the volume. The volume of a cone is 1/3 base area times height. Base area is pi times radius squared. So I'm going to have pi times 1.6 squared, which I believe is 2.56. 1.6 times 1.6, 2.56, yep. So you get 2.56 pi. That's the base area. So volume is 1/3, 2.56 pi times the height. And the height is 2.6. So I'm just checking if 2.56 is a multiple of, if 3 goes in evenly, it goes in 0.85, 3 repeating. So it's not really the neatest. Okay, so anyway, so I'm going to leave this answer in terms of pi. So on my calculator, I'm typing 2.56 times 2.6. That's my numerator times pi. So my answer is 6.656 pi over 3. Now, if they asked me to round to the nearest tenth, let's say, I'm typing in 6.656 divided by 3 times pi. And this is the answer that I get. So this is exact, this is approximate. And whatever the units are, it would be units cubed, of course, because it's volume. 6.97015. If they asked me to round to the hundredths place, it would be 6.97. If they asked me to round to the tenths place, it would be 7.0. Because this 7 would make that 9 round up to a 0, and you'd carry the 0. If they asked me to round to the nearest whole number, that would just be 7. Okay, so those would be your answers, units cubed. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So here I'm asked to rotate a rectangle. So I took this rectangle and I rotated the rectangle about the longer side. So the longer side was h, 2.6. And you can see that the shorter side was 1.7. So the 1.7 becomes the radius of a cylinder. And the height of that cylinder is 2.6. Now, had I chosen instead to revolve the rectangle around the shorter side, then my height would be 1.7 and my radius would be 2.6. Okay, so just be careful. Always read what it's asking you to do. So, volume of a cylinder is base area times height, but the base area is pi r squared. So I have pi times 1.7, 1.7 squared. Okay, what's 1.7 squared? Is it 3.24? Let's see. 1.7 times 1.7. It's 2.89, right. 2.89 pi. Okay, so now my volume is the base area, 2.89 pi, times the height, 2.6. If I'm going to leave it in terms of pi, I'm just going to type into my calculator 2.89 times 2.6. So it's 7.514 pi. If they asked me to get it to the nearest whatever, I would type in 7.514, which I could just capture off my calculator, times pi. And I get this answer, 23.6059. So again, it depends on where I'm asked to round to. If they ask me to round to the nearest hundredth, I'd get 23.61. If they ask me to round to the nearest tenth, I would get 23.6 because the 0 keeps the 6 as 6. If they ask me to round to the nearest whole number, I would get 24. All right, there you have it. So that is how you get volume by revolution. Thank you.